Pauline asks, she has a question on doing an old window. She ran into old glass. It was very brittle and broke very easy. Why does this happen? And is it the weather or just age? Does glass age?
No, actually, Pauline, what happens is if it's an old window, and if it's definitely an old window, the annealing processes of the glass or the cooling processes weren't exactly computerized and everything like they are now. So if you ran into some brittle glass cutting it, has nothing to do with the temperature, okay? What it has everything to do with is the annealing process of the glass. So, and if you're repairing it, and you do have to cut it, just listen to your cutter because it's going to tell you what's going on. And but it has nothing to do with the temperature, y'all.
Jen has a question.
Okay, Jen.
She wants to make a vase. Do I need to use lead-free solder? And do you have any helpful advice on making a vase?
A flat vase, I guess.
I would say if you're going a vase for flowers.
Yeah, a flower vase.
I would say it would not really matter. Now, this is my opinion, thinking about it.
Okay.
Jen, I would think you could use it, make it any way you want to. And I think the secret about that is put a clear glass vase inside of that vase because you're not going to be able to build it watertight.
Yeah, so basically you're not, with copper foil, you're not going to be able to build, or lead, you're not going to be able to build something that's waterproof or like a fish tank. So what you would want to do is use a vase that you would build the stained glass vase around so that the inside is clear and also will hold water and you won't have to. Yeah. Anyway, that's really cool. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. So yeah, it's not going to, you can use any kind of solder you want on that because you're definitely not going to be able to make it waterproof.
Yeah. Julie has a question.
Okay.
How do you make the little decorative solder balls that I have seen on different projects? How do you keep it all from melting together?
Okay. The whole key to that, Julie, is put two pieces of glass together, run a bead on it, okay? Then turn your iron down just a little bit each time and work on till you get that ball exactly the way you want it, and then mark that temperature. So you'll solder your whole piece, and then you'll come back, turn your rheostat down to that other temperature, and it's gonna, honestly, it's gonna be somewhere in the 400s, in the high 400s for you to decorative solder. It's going to be below 500, but it's going to be above 450. It's going to be somewhere in there.
You want to turn your iron on the side, so you're just working on the tip of your soldering iron.
That very tip.
To the side, so you're working on the side. That's right. Yeah. Kathy Cat has a question.
Okay.
She heard that if you use black back foil, you have to use black patina. So what are all the foil differences about? Please help. Okay, well, I personally prefer to match my patina to the color of the backing on my foil. So if I use a copper foil, I would do a copper patina. If I use a black back foil, I would use black patina.
Actually, the main reason I prefer to use the black back foil is because the adhesive is much more intense than the rest of the foils. Mm-hmm. And it won't come off.
It doesn't make a difference if you're using opaque glass, what color the back of the foil is.
Right.
It only makes a difference if you have that.
Clear glass, or you're working with mirror, either way, right? Silverback.
Yeah.
Silverback you can use on mirror or blackback.
Yeah. Please subscribe if you're not already.
And if you do subscribe, go ahead and go to the top and ring that bell, that notification bell that tells you every time we're on the air, whether we're in town or out. Because,
thank you, Ed.
Oh, Barb, it's incredible. Rick's got a question for us, Barb.
Okay, he's building a project with 7 glass beads chained together. The joints are unstable and foil keeps falling off. I think I need to wrap with wire. Do I wrap each bead or wrap the entire chain?
So just start out with the wire in between 2 beads and bring it out and wrap it around it in with a V on the wire, around, over, in with a V, and go all the way around, come back up and do the same V from underneath, and then tie it all in back to the first bead.
Jen has a question.
Okay, Jen.
She wants to make a vase. Do I need to use lead-free solder? And do you have any helpful advice on making a vase?
Okay.
Jen, I would think you could use it, make it any way you want to. And I think the secret about that is put a clear glass vase inside of that vase, because you're not going to be able to build it watertight.
Yeah, so yeah, basically you're not, with copper foil, you're not going to be able to build, or lead, you're not going to be able to build something that's waterproof or like a fish tank. So what you would want to do is use a vase that you would build the stained glass vase around so that the inside is clear and also will hold water. See the flower petals here? I've cut them out of my pattern paper. I have put the pattern onto my blue glass, just like I have my trusty glass cutter. I've got my short running pliers. First thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna whittle this down. You know how I like to do that. So I'm gonna show you again that I have my pattern marked on my glass. It's all good.
It looks good.
It looks good. You see how close it is, but how far apart they really are. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do, one score, here we go. Listen to your cutter. There was a bop in there. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to come across right here. We're going to move these two pieces out of the way. Ready? Here we go. Now I'm not cutting anything. I am just separating the parts. All right. So our next cut, everybody, we're going to separate number 3. You can see that. Kind of, I got a little bit of a glare, but that's okay. So
I think if you move it over to the right. Oh, there. It looks good there. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to separate this right here. You heard it pop, and we're going to turn it around because that curve's a little intense for the running pliers, but there it is right there. All right. So here we go. Remember, cutter wheel on the inside of that black line. We're using our grousers and we're using our runners. So we take off the parts that we can run first, like that, and then we'll take our grousers because we want to make sure we're going to get this little curve. Now it's going to break right here, and there's nothing I can do about it, but I only left myself a little bit of room. So we're gonna ask the grinder to clean that up for us, okay? So I'm trying to avoid getting a lot of glass everywhere. Okay, so there's number 3, everybody. We're gonna put that, we'll just put that on the pattern. Okay, just like that. Now we're down to the pieces where we have 2 pieces on each piece of glass. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, just like that. Another cut. And remember, you want to listen to your glass cutter, and when you drive down into a divot, just drive right back out. Don't pick up on your glass cutter. The very second you pick up on your glass cutter, your score is ruined, okay? Because you're never going to start back where it used to be, okay? So we're going to take this, we're going to pop this off, boom, boom, and boom. All right, so there's number 1, everybody. Okay. Now, our next number that we're cutting, now I'm trying to do this relatively fast, but I want you to see what this flower looks like. And y'all really should work with your glass because your glass is so beautiful. Turn the pattern to make the glass do what you want it to do, because it's like, you know, it's pretty intense color here. Just like that. So what happens, y'all, you see these little pieces that'll break off when I touch it with the running pliers. The reason that it's breaking off is because there's not enough space there. There's not enough space there for you know, like for the curve to go around, and I'm putting a little bit too much pressure on it. And so, but here we go. These are our last 2 pieces, number 2 and number 4. Okay. And before you know it, y'all, we're gonna have a flower. Okay. So we're gonna split that again. Let's use our running pliers, everybody. Boom. Let's get number 2 out of the way. We're score once. So we take a little bit of that. Boom. Okay. And we're going to get number 4 and we're going to knock it out. Here we go. Number 4. And I just wanted y'all to see this. So, but keep in mind, your running pliers aren't going to break every little thing because they're just not going to do it. But if you use your grousing pliers, put your finger underneath, pull down. Remember, pull down and away. Please subscribe, and when you subscribe, go ahead and hit the notification bell. We're coming apart.
Oh, God.
Hit the notification bell so that you're warned that we're coming at you.
Yeah, you need warning.
And thank you, viewers from Barb and Ed.